What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping back into Jonathan Hickman's G.O.D.S. This is going to be issue number 6. This one is going to be centering around Aiko, because she has done something that she now regrets. Unable to go to her order to correct this, she has to find herself in the company of unsavory characters, such as the Lion of Wolves. But there's also more than this. To fix her mistake, to try and correct this error, she has to go before the two universal abstracts. She is gonna have to stand before the living Tribunal and Oblivion. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we pick up with Aiko sitting here in bed and she is unable to sleep. Now we know that Win told Maya the truth. Maya had a desire to work with Win for the powers that be, but due to Aiko's actions, Maya would be prevented from fully growing into her magical powers. Her fate now sealed forever, her fate robbed away from her, and now Aiko is feeling the weight of this. Feeling this tremendous weight, she gets up for the evening and she goes to the Lion of Wolves. She confesses to him that she has done something wrong, needing the Lion of Wolves as a broker to arrange a meeting. She needs to see the Tribunal. Now, his partner here, she doesn't want anything to do with it. The Lion of Wolves, on the other hand, this is an occasion that he is not gonna miss. As we pick up an hour later, the two of them wait for the ride, a carriage that comes. The carriage only willing to take them as far as the river, with the Lion of Wolves paying the fee. Aiko has to wonder, what do I owe you? You paid for the carriage ride, so what is the cost? Informing her that there will be no cost. Include it as part of my service for you. But from here on out, that's not going to be an option. He lets her know that you think you're solving a problem, but going forward, this isn't how things are going to work. This is about paying a personal price for something that you have done, and only you can truly pay for that. But he is curious because the Tribunal lines more with her line of work than with his, but she is doing this in direct conflict of the symptom, which means they can't know about this. She is alone in her actions. Her masters know nothing of this. Tonight she breaks the rules, and while she has doubts moving forward, she cannot sit idly by with the actions that she has done. As they come upon the river, the ferryman letting them know that the Lion of Wolves, his passage is paid for, from now to the end of all time. Aiko's is not. No money, no favor, or an honest exchange will do. So if she wants on this boat, if she wants to get down the river, it is either going to cost her her left eye, or nothing she says can be anything but the truth for 24 hours. Now at face value, this seems like a very obvious choice. Don't lie for 24 hours, versus having your eye taken from you. But the Lion of Wolves does tell her to pause for a moment, to take this into consideration. This will not be the last choice you have to make tonight. And while this may seem like the obvious choice, it could put you in great peril later on. You are bound to the choices that you make. Hours from now, far down the road, if one of your choices is between something truly awful or having to do nothing but lie for the next day, you would have to choose doing something awful. Otherwise, your very being would be in conflict and your mind would shatter. You would pull your hair out. You would swallow your teeth as madness sets in. And while those ahead on the road won't know of her previous choices, she's gonna keep both her eyes and she is going to take unable to lie for 24 hours. And so as the two make their journey, she has to make a handful of deals. A choice between a secret no one knew or two of her back teeth. To surrender the smallest taste of blood in lieu of maiming an innocent child. The choice between the loss of 1 year of her life or 1 year of a stranger's life. This is where they happen upon the preordained, one that is equal station to Aiko, only to her masters, Oblivion and the Living Tribunal. And so the preordained, she leads the way, shows the path, while there are many here that are waiting in line They cut to the front. The wolf must stay behind, and the preordained goes on to explain their nature. Between Oblivion and the Tribunal, there is a wall. The wall divides them. The word hate is reserved to describe the relationship between the masters and the powers that be. But these temperates that are less hot are still directly hostile to one another. So the wall is much a personal divider as an ideological one, because they refuse to speak to one another. Oblivion, the manifestation of end-of-times nihilism. The living tribunal represents irrevocable judgment and justice, both equal forces, representing unyielding forces of finality. But as the preordained introduces everybody, Oblivion can smell something familiar. The living tribunal, the first to speak. The living tribunal will hear what she has to say and pass judgment accordingly. And so Aiko goes on to explain that her organization, they lost numbers in the recent Babylon event. She was commanded to recruit more minions. That's what she did with Maya. She did this knowing the cost that it would cost Maya, the loss of her ability to fall under the grace of her rightful god. She had rationalized this in her own brain, convinced herself that this was all for a higher purpose, but she has come to care for Maya, care for her deeply, and knowing that she has stolen this away from her, it is not something that she wants to live with. She is asking the living tribunal to reverse this action, to judge the act and erase it from ever occurring. She knows that they have this ability. She has checked before. In fact, this has been done several times, twice to her masters. This is where the living tribunal wraps her up. That justice is not erasing her sin. She is stripped down to nothing but her skin. The living tribunal letting her know that justice is paying for what you have done. True justice is making you an example so that others fear to do the same that you have done here. That there is an order to this universe. She belongs to one on the same axis as the living tribunal, and so wishing not to stir up any unnecessary ripples in the water, she will stay as she is, guilty and haunted by what she has done. So while the living tribunal has passed judgment, it is now time for Oblivion to pass judgment. With her being passed off from living tribunal to Oblivion, Oblivion cannot help but smell her. Wondering if they have met before, they have not, but she was there in the library the day everything went down. And so letting her know that Oblivion is not the living tribunal, cannot undo what has already been done, but Oblivion will make it right. He will make her whole. Oblivion can smell what is coming, and she will pay for what she has done. But the girl, empowered through another hand, will also fall under a different shadow. Maya will follow under the shadow of Oblivion. Maya's master will be Oblivion, and this is already done. All that is left over is for her to live with it. But he tells her to not fear what you have done. Do not fear the cost of what you have done, because what lies ahead, that is what you should truly fear. And so now returning, she finds herself side by side with the Lion of Wolves. And now he has come for his debt. What he wants is both her eyes, or she can do nothing but lie for the next 24 hours. With Aiko having no other option, she gives up her eyes. She returned to the House of Rank and Numbers. She saw Maya, or at least was greeted by her. She had to know if she had covered her sin by paying a high enough price. But Maya already knew. She knew what had been done. That is because Win had told her, letting Aiko know that she deserved to know that information. And Win has to bring up, do you ever wonder what all of this means? That they work for gods who never pay the price for their actions. But people like them, they're special servants. They are forced to live with the consequences of their actions. And because of the power they give them, force them to do so for as long as they can take it in their very long lives. And Win is getting tired of it. That will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This was a great freaking issue. This is the kind of stuff that we were expecting, the kind of stuff that we really want to see. Now, I really hope that Jonathan Hickman gets an opportunity to tell more of this story. We only got 2 issues left. This God story could expand so much further. But as we discussed in the last video, it didn't have the success that Marvel thought it was going to have. Nonetheless, this story was so awesome. Seeing her come before the Living Tribunal and Oblivion. And the Living Tribunal pretty much lets her know that you're gonna live with what you did. That is your punishment. The only reason you're not getting more of a punishment is because of who you serve. But Oblivion also had something to say about this. Seeing the potential in Maya, the smell on her, he always thought that there was something unique about her from the moment that he had walked into that room. Now he has some kind of control and sway over her. But he knows that something big is coming. A war of the gods, possibly. A war started by Wynn himself. Because Oblivion definitely made note about Wynn. It appears that the servants of the gods are getting sick and tired of the gods getting away with literal murder while they have to suffer the consequences of everything that they do. That the servants are ready to revolt. They are ready to get some kind of justice, to make the gods pay, to make the gods understand, to no longer be subservient to gods that could care less if they existed or not. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by checking out the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.